funnest do you have? I guess the parties that we all have are pretty rad. We definitely go hard.
So Game of Thrones, as a fan, it's on hiatus right now, but what can you tell us for the next season?
Oh, we got dancing horses, and what else? If you want it answered seriously, I better join it.
Hi! You look great!
Prince, it's good to see you.
You look wonderful!
Thank you.
Man, you look better than I do. Great!
It's good to see you again.
Love you here.
Yeah, thank you. That's what you said at the Prince High School all the time. It's so good to see you again. Charmy, I've heard that you had the big party.
Big party last night.
Royal ball.
Yes, we went to the ball.
Why didn't you invite me?
When people start speculating about my death and my health, so fuck you to those people.
People's faces. We have Cersei, who's the bitch who everyone hates but everyone sucks up to. Then we'd have Marjorie Tyrell. She'd be in the skimpiest outfit possible because she's kind of a slut. She'd have, you know, the really deep V with her tits out, and Sansa has a huge crush on her.
If Hunger Games fans fought Game of Thrones fans, who would win? You know, who would win in the arena and who would end up on the Iron Throne? And I'm like, well,
you. That's
like,
the only answer.
They're pretty evenly matched in obsession and support and knowledge, and it's pretty. I'd say it's a 50-50 fight.
It'll be a good fight.
That odds. I have no idea who's.
We should make that into a film.
The nightmare last night.
Did you?
I had the nightmare that the court jester would become more famous than the prince and more loved than the prince.
That is a nightmare.
That is a nightmare.
So did you kill him?
Imagine. Of course I did.
Exactly, yeah.
All of
I would
them.
have done the same.
Thank you. That's very good.
Well, I was a bit tattling with your mom and your sister, and even they were talking not in a good way about you.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's very bad.
Oh, no. It's all lies.
Well, they say that you talk to mice, for example.
I talk to mice?
Yes.
But the mice are my friends.
That makes sense. Yes. Now that you're
The
saying
mice
it.
can understand me.
Did you know that Cinderella, she talks to mice?
She doesn't.
She does.
Really?
Well, yes. I'm honest.
Okay,
Must
wonderful.
be. You know, you must know the person. You just can't look in her eyes.
I thought
and
she was
follow.
joking when she said that.
No.
She actually talks to them?
Yes.
Mad. Okay, well, I don't know, can we get this marriage annulled, or...?
I don't know.
Girl comes up to me and says, "What you driving?" I said, "Toyota."
Arya sits down at the brothel and she says to Cersei, "Your dress is fugly." Cersei loses her shit. She decides to flip the table. The blood of people's enemies go everywhere and all over Daenerys' white, beautiful hair. Daenerys loses it and she brings in the dragons. The dragons come in fully formed, stomping towards the table. Marjorie stands up. She goes, "Hold off, Daenerys. Sansa's my chick, okay? We're in a relationship. You do not bring your dragons in on my chick."
Maybe you remember my sister, Uglinella.
Uglinella, yeah. She was a charmer.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's it.
That's very honest of you, of course.
There we go.
You're sure you don't want to change your mind about Uglinella?
No, I think I'll give this one a go. Do you know what I mean? We've only just started out, and I really want to give it a good try.
But you know she's talking to mice.
Yeah, I know she talks to mice. That's fine.
Look at this. Everyone's like, "I bring the party with me," and I'm like, no. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring the party with me.
Yes, you do. Can we get you to do a little picture? Can we get you to do a little disco Saturday Night Fever here?
Oh, sure.
John Travolta.
Oh, John Travolta. Look at me. Thank
All right,
you.
awesome.
Marjorie brings in her gay brother, Loras. Brings in his gay lover, Gregor Clegane. He comes stomping in through the door, and he's got knuckle dusters on, and he goes crazy at Daenerys.
Do you know where she got her dress? I'll tell you.
Okay, where did she get her dress?
from a fairy godmother.
A fairy godmother.
Fairy godmother.
She told me she bought it in a store, so we've got a lot of secrets in this marriage already.
Yes.
Right?
I'm just saying. I must be honest.
I feel like you're trying to break us up.
No, I would never. But, you know, Ugly Nella talks about you all the time.
Ugly Nella. Do you call her Ugly Nella to her face? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, that's not very
That's
nice.
her name.
That's not very nice.
Well, sometimes we just call it Agla.
Tormund is coming.
In amongst the chaos, Sansa's direwolf lady runs in. Sansa hops on the wolf. She goes, "See you later, b****s," and she rides off into the night.
You made the cover of Men's Health in the UK, which, and it's a very, look at that, build arms like this.
Whoa.
Fantastic cover. Are you okay, Betty?
I'm getting better.
Well, maybe you'd like to see, I was on the cover too. I don't know if you saw this, but check it out. Their lowest selling cover of all time. The magazine almost went under. What, a flat butt. I never knew that was...
Well, you know what the God says. If he gives you a flat ass, he's going to give you a big old...
Oh my god. Oh my god. I got really good ones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, who wants to? I'll judge first.
Okay.
So y'all are going against each other.
Okay.
Life for American Indians was forever changed from the white man introduced them to. Uh-oh. Maybe we shouldn't be playing this on camera.
How do you guys prepare for a set? What's going through your head, basically?
Kit? Oh, thanks. I've got away lightly on this TV show as far as how much I reveal.
So far.
So far. Thank you. But I think my opinion of it is that my favourite TV shows have got graphic scenes of sex in them. Is something that we do, hopefully, most days.
They're not strictly speaking TV shows, okay?
They can frankly just, you know, get a life.
I really hate them, and they should all be put to death.
Doesn't that? Oh.
How many did you eat?
Oh my god. I can't tell you how many I ate. I must have ate about 50.
Oh lord.
Of those little...
Do you actually like lemon cakes?
No, I hate lemon cakes. That's the thing. And everyone's like, sometimes people like send me lemon cakes or just like draw pictures and I'm like, I know you love them in like whatever, like mail. And like, I hate lemon cakes. Like, I can't hate
With a
another
passion.
cake more than lemon cakes. And I had to eat like 50 of these. Look, that's pure
Yeah.
disdain. Look, that's not happiness.
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy eating my lemon cake.
It's funny because you're like pulling it apart, like desperately trying to
Yeah,
get a
I was,
tiny
like,
crumb.
smaller,
Like,
small.
oh, I'm going to eat it. Oh, maybe I have some dialogue. I won't eat it yet.
Yeah.
Yourselves were put into the actual like environment that Jon Snow and like Sam have to live in. Do you think you would survive, or like how long?
I don't think Sam would survive.
No.
John, in your estimation, how long would Kit survive in a Jon Snow-like environment?
In a Jon Snow-like environment? Longer than me. But people say, just with regards to, you know, horse riding and sword fighting and things, my advice to all young actors is to seek out characters who are terrible at everything.
I find eating really difficult when you have a scene like this, when you have to like be on cue for your lines because they're kind of snappy.
Well, you've got like.
So then you've got like stuff
Come on,
in your
your
mouth.
mouth.
So then you're like, it's not life. Oh my god, I sounded like Purcell.
Whenever I answer the house phone and it's someone I don't wish to speak to, I take a message and pretend I am my fictional handyman, Sean.
David, so do you answer in Sean's voice all the time? So that in case it's someone you don't want to speak to?
I leave a pause and wait for the person on the other end to say hello.
You answer the phone with silence?
And I can usually tell by the hello whether it's somebody I wish to speak to. And if I'm not in the mood to speak to anybody, you know, I say, no, I'm sorry, Charles isn't home now. Try calling back later, you know.
What part of Scotland is Sean from?
I've always had a real soft spot for Lord Varys. Oh, shut up.
I'd like to be a warg. I'd like to like put myself into a wolf.
Jon Snow knows nothing.
No, tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like, what else is new?
So, what does Jon Snow know? Anything?
No. He knows how to do his pretty hair. It's really good. It's
You're
really
the second
pretty.
person to say that. The poor guy.
It's so pretty.
It is very pretty. It was pretty when I walked by. That's for sure.
And his Jimmy Choo shoes.
Yeah.
Are pretty too.
If you don't want to speak to anyone at all, why pick up the phone?
Well, it's a kind of obsessive thing, you know, it's the insecurity that actors have, you know, you think, oh my God, it might be a job, you know, I just...
Well, let's give it a try. I'll ring you, OK?
Yeah.
OK.
Has he not bought a telephone since 1983?
Hello? Hello? Charles? Hello?
Hey, no, this is not Charles. Charles isn't home now at the moment, but if you'd like to leave your number, I'll get him to call you back when he's back, yeah?
Charles, are you ill? Charles, I'm calling for an ambulance now. It's all right. Get in the recovery position. Oh, God, I'm on my way.
Two of the characters up. Who would you have them hook up? You could hook up.
I could be
You
involved
can
in
invite
the
anyone
hookup.
into your own little camp.
Can they be dead or alive?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Khal Drogo, we've got Viserys, we've
Yeah.
got Dario, and me.
Oh, you brought it all together.
Bring it on in.
What is that,
why
a
not?
five-some? Is that a five-some? Okay.
She's a queen.
And the Queen has seems to be a birthday cake on her head.
That was like the first thing. Sophie's next to me and she comes in and I was just like, she's yellow. She's yellow. Yes, Maisie, she's wearing yellow.
Did you speak to the Queen?
Yeah, so we had a brief beforehand on what you do and whether you curtsy and what you say. And throughout the whole process, they kind of made out like she would come over, shake your hand, and then move on to the next person. Because obviously she's got a lot of people to go through, and she's shaking everyone's hand. So,
Yeah.
so she came up to me, and she puts her hand out first, and then you take it, and then she sort of like she shoves your hand away. So when she goes to shake your hand, she shakes it, and then just so you know when to let go.
Really?
Sort of thing. Yeah, because otherwise, you get people that is just like this, like it's so nice to meet you.
Right.
So she knows when to like
She
let you go.
tosses you and she casts you into the
Yeah, get off of me. Get off of me.
into the dungeon.
Yeah, and then I was like waiting for her to go on to Sophie, and then she said, and what do you do? And I was like, in my head, I was like, you're not supposed to be talking to me. Like, move on. This is not. Why are you still here?
Oh.
And then so I had like a 3-second conversation with the Queen, and I said that I work on the show, but I kind of gave her the toned-down version of my character. Rather, like the Arya from season 1, rather than the cold-blooded killer that she is now.
Yeah.
So I was like, she's the daughter of a lord, and she's a bit of a tomboy, and I didn't go into the sort of like throat, like
Slashing,
stabbing that we have
the
seen
stuff
in
with the hound and
more
all of that.
in more recent seasons.
That's probably wise on your part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
It's from a place in Napa called Schramsberg Valley.
You know, my mom is actually from Napa.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I never knew my mother.
Sorry to hear that, John.
I'm a bastard.
Okay, but you don't have to call yourself that, though.
I'm the bastard son of Lord Eddard Stark of Winterfell, head of the Stark family, Warden of the North.
Well, he sounds like an impressive guy. Do you and your father keep in touch?
His head was chopped off.
You're always talking about how you don't have any friends, and this is why.
I'm just making small talk.
No, none of that is small talk.
Do you have any siblings?
One brother. Lives in Cleveland. You?
My brother was stabbed to death at his own wedding. My bad. My bad. I knew it as soon as I said it.
Did you watch it? Were you allowed to watch your own show?
Yeah, and now I still don't feel like I'm old enough to watch the show. And when I was 12...
I don't feel like I'm old enough sometimes to watch the show.
And we used to watch it with my nan and my auntie and my cousins and my dogs and the whole family and the neighbours.
Dogs can't watch that.
Everyone. But, like, even my nan, my mum was a bit like, I don't think you're old enough to watch this. And she's, like, 87, so I don't think you're ever old enough to watch Game of Thrones.
Did she like it? Does your grandmother like it?
I think she did. She's kind of, like, had... She's quite hard, like, seeing, like, she...
I see.
Yeah. And then Mum used to just, like, every time there was, like, a pair of boobs on screen, like, Mum would just fill up her drink with more gin. Like, just have another gin, Nan. And she sat in the chair a little bit like, is this what I think I'm seeing?
While the increased muscle mass helps me defend the Seven Kingdoms against 55-foot giants.
And I just, want to look good for TV.
I like your friend, Seb. He's so interesting.
Your red hair reminds me of my first love, Egret.
Ooh, Egret. Tell me about Egret.
She shot me with 3 arrows in the chest and then a child murdered her in cold blood. Was it the child murder stuff?
Yes.
They're saying that you are the bad guy?
Yeah. Those are such terrible rumors.
Yeah, how could the sexiest vegetarian celebrity alive be a bad guy?
I know. It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to save the world.
Yeah. What are your
I create
ideas?
enormous robots to destroy everything that's mutant, but I'm trying to save the world from these crazy, hideous creatures that can turn into storms and have claws, scary stuff. Yeah.
This is the EB Tongue Twister Challenge. I think my sign is backwards, but please play and donate. I'm not the fig plucker nor the fig plucker's son, but I'll pluck figs till the fig plucker comes, drops my...
Have you looked ahead at the books to see how your character fares? Of course, they sometimes do depart from the book, but have you looked to see what's going to happen to Cersei?
No. I mean, David and Dan, who write the show, they're kind of mental geniuses, and they like to tease us with fake pages occasionally, which is really unfair.
They do.
Yeah, but my mum reads the books and she highlights Cersei and she's like, this is gonna be great watching you do that.
What was your first day on set? Which was it couldn't have been the stag scene. Was that your first?
No, that was the second one. The first one was in a tent. It was in a tent that was in a field at freezing. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Bitterly cold. And I thought, why are we in this tent? There are no shots outside the tent. This tent could be set up on the studio floor and we could all be warm instead of freezing our asses off in the middle of this field, 20 miles outside of Belfast.
Look, that's just pure pain. That's stomach pain and hand pain all at once.
Like, about to vomit because of all the lemon cakes and about to have your fingers ripped off. Genuine tears.
Imagine, like, halfway through the scene, I'm just like, I swear I never...
Vomit all... When she's, like, cuddling you, just like...
just like a little dribble down her dress.
Over the glacier.
Was that the glacier that cracked and everyone had to...
No, that was the lake. So I think this was at the end of season 2, and we were shooting on a lake, and then we decided to take a crew photo in the middle of a frozen lake, and we heard this deep rumble, this deep crack, and everybody just fans for themselves, and like people are pushing past each other. We're like, fuck yeah!
How they would characterize their heroes in season 5 with one word.
Determined.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. So my hero, or my character?
Your character.
Oh, transformational? Is that a word? I just made it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Transforming, absolutely.
Transformative? I don't know. I don't know. I'm making up words now.
Unbelievable.
Oh, do you see why I did that?
Believable?
Yeah.
I don't know what the
Like
joke...
JB.
Like JB.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, unbelievable.
Ah.
What was it we said at the same time?
Okay, let me tell you a hilarious story about this as well.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
tell.
so in this bit right here, pow, this shot, wait, you ready? This shot, okay, so we were setting up for that shot, and they were like, oh, we want it to, like, warp a little bit and move around. So I was, like, practicing, and me being me, I didn't put enough pressure on, flicked the sword up, and hit myself in the eye.
Oh, my God.
And it sounds painful, and it was. And it was so embarrassing because, like, the crew is, like, majority men, and they're all, like, lifting cameras and putting lights up and, like, big men. And then I did that and, like, wanted to cry, and everyone was like...
What to expect? I just hung out in the bar afterwards, and everyone was really cool and very welcoming. And
Who was hanging around the bar? No one asked me. Not right? Do you drink alcohol? No.
No. Not when you're working. Not while we're filming.
No, just hang around the bar.
Yeah.
Watch others do it.
Yeah. Sparkling water.
Yeah, sparkling water. Pick one. Shooting an orgy that gets interrupted by Charles.
That's unlike you, Charles.
That was one of my. That was one of my favorite days on set.
Yeah.
One of the actors, she wouldn't wear her robe. Do you remember?
Yeah, she just wandered around.
So we're in the green room, you know, and playing Words with Friends or something with with David, and Charles is reading the paper, and next to him is a completely naked person. And Charles has the paper, and she's trying to talk with him, and he's like, and he looks up at me, and he's like.
I like the idea of getting burnt by oil, but like really like like a kind of like Madonna-esque kind of like stage show death. Yeah. Very whimsical.
Every time I see him, I'm like, yeah, but I don't die, do I? And he just laughs. There's this little giggle. And I'm like, no, you can't do that.
I think Beric should fight a dragon. Fire with fire.
A flaming sword against a flaming dragon.
Yeah, and a good shield he could protect himself. I think he'd be pretty good.
Riding into battle with a double-edged axe in one hand and a scream of glory in my throat into an army of wildlings.
I think something epic with an axe.
I'd like to just go very quickly and very non-painfully.
Being beheaded would be pretty bad, I think.
I would like someone to rip the mask off and stab me in my face. Opinion, who should win that game, that political game? Who should sit on the throne?
Who do you think we're going to say?
I don't know. Take a wild guess.
I'm going to plump for Daenerys. That's, yeah. I'm going to make that bold statement.
Yeah.
No, you have to pick someone different.
I don't know. Do I?
No,
That's
you don't.
Not fair.
Told, or did you have to read it?
No, I opened the script for episode 9 and started reading this epic battle sequence that lasts the whole hour. 100,000 versus 100, guarding the wall for honor and the survival of mankind. And I get to page 92. There's this scream of the Night's Watch oath going into battle, and there's the gate in front of me, and I skipped 10 pages and I just see Grenny's dead. And I went, the fucking bastard. My girlfriend was sat on the sofa opposite, and I went, fucking, do you know how much money we're gonna fucking lose because of this? You can wave bye-bye to the car. I got to Belfast, and David and Dan were stood in the bar, and I just put a hand on each shoulder, and I was just like, you fucking...
My favorite was the Red Wedding, when they both had like their joint death.
So you like seeing your parents get killed?
Yes.
Terrible person.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Fighting an army of White Walkers. Yeah, just sort of a huge action scene would be nice. I would enjoy that.
Getting his head chopped off, that'd be fun. Why not? Why not? Have your head on a pike, like Ned.
A fight with a dragon would be great. Because what am I losing to a dragon? You don't lose any face.
A screaming, like, axe fight with Osha. Nat Turner is a lot of fun to work with, and she's completely mad. And I reckon that Osha could have a very violent side which would come out. So I think that would be a fun way to die.
Hung, drawn and quartered.
Because I've never seen anybody hung, drawn and quartered.
If a fighting man's going to go, he should go fighting.
It would have to be something spectacular. Maybe burnt to death, drowned in sand.
I like it.
Human burial, you know, like, that's gross, isn't it?
I don't think Jaqen could die. Could he?
He could just change into someone else, couldn't he?
Yeah, that was actually probably one of my favourite days of shooting, because I was getting paid for literally just having a nap. You were talking about sleeping, yeah, I was just there in between takes, having the time of my life, and I was in a beautiful black gown, actually.
You were very pretty, Dan. Yeah.
I did look great.
Hey, you want a kiss?
Okay.
Grandpa, wait. I thought this was a story about a Game of Thrones recap show with an LGBT perspective. I don't want to hear about kissing.
Oh, I didn't know my grandson was homophobic.
Calm down, Grandpa. I'm 10. I don't want to hear about anybody kissing.
Do you want to hear the rest of the story or not?
Sure, I got nowhere else to be.
Since the invention of kissing, there had been no kiss this passionate, this fierce. It was in the throes of passion that Jonathan was surprised by a strange feeling in his stomach, like kombucha gone wrong. Jeffrey had thrust his dagger into Jonathan's stomach. Jonathan looked down to see his blood soaking the shirt he had just bought at Kitson.
The Lannisters send their regards, you dumb bitch.
Jeffrey left, satisfied that he had slain his enemy, and because he was late for hot yoga.
No, not please.
Jonathan lay on the floor, alone, and gasping for life.
What? Why'd you kill Jonathan? He was my favorite.
I didn't say he was dead.
Really? What happens next?
You'll have to wait for the next book.
But I want to hear it now.
Get off my back. You're going to grow up to be King Joffrey.
Oh, come on.
These things take time to write. They're 1,500 pages long. Some people can't even read them.
Bit righteous and selfish of me, but I got out of costume and I jumped into the water while everyone else was like, "Fuck you, dude," because they had to keep working and it was really warm and the water was just begging to be jumped into. It was just like crystal blue and perfect day, and we were on this kind of like pier, and so I had this like really, really long running start where I just got to sprint towards the water and then just like, you know, dive in, and I'm like, you're like a fish, you know, wee, wee, and they're all like, you fucking asshole.
Thank God he's dead.
Watch out, Real Housewives of the World. Our girls are putting King's Landing on the map.
Neither woman trusts each other as far as they can throw them. I wish we had some wine for you. It's a bit early in the day for us.
I think that's her game, again, you know, to kind of elicit some sense of friendship.
What's the proper way to address you now? Queen Mother or Dowager Queen? Is there anything I can do for you? You're very sweet. So it's like, okay, she's letting me marry him. Why? The Queen Mother will be a Queen Grandmother soon. That'd be a lovely day.
You know, she's smart and a politician, and
remember, anything you need.
Real Housewives of King's Landing starts June the 12th exclusively on Bravo.
You can't serve in the King's Guard with one hand. Where's that written? I can and I will. The King's Guard oath is for life. The war is over. The King is safe. The King is never